Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about a once rising star who's been having a bit of a rough time lately. Actor and comedian TJ Miller couldn't have been more popular over the last couple years. He's co-starred on the hit HBO show Silicon Valley since 2014. The same year he also co-starred in the joint Disney-Marvel animated superhero film Big Hero 6. That also was a huge success. And less than 2 years later, he was also playing Ryan Reynolds' sidekick Weasel in the wildly popular Deadpool movie in 2016, which went on to become the highest grossing rated R movie ever, and its sequel, Deadpool 2, is set to release later this week. But unfortunately for Miller, Ryan Reynolds has already confirmed that this will be TJ's last Deadpool movie. An article from IndieWire states that TJ will not be returning for the possible Deadpool spin-off X-Force that's already in the works. And to answer why all this is happening is no easy task. TJ Miller has been wrapped up in a lot of different controversies over the last year or so. It seems things have really been going downhill for the star ever since the Emoji Movie from last summer, which not only was a huge embarrassing failure, it also saw TJ try and defend it by getting all political and anti-Trump and shit. That's right, an article from Huffington Post has more on the beginning of this TJ story. It's called TJ Miller Slams Silicon Valley Cast for not doing enough to stop Trump. Check this out. TJ Miller shocked comedy fans earlier this year when he announced that he'd be leaving HBO's tech sitcom Silicon Valley for good. His character, obnoxious startup investor Erlich Bachman, quickly became an audience and critical darling after the show's premiere in 2014. In an interview with HuffPost this week, Miller spoke frankly about the current political climate and how it influenced his decision to leave the show, and blasted his former castmates for not doing enough to prevent President Trump's election. Well, looks like we got another stark Hollywood liberal ruining his career because of his dumb politics. Great. Look, I don't care if you hate Trump, TJ, but I do care if you fuck up my TV shows and movies. Silicon Valley was one of my favorites. It's one of the funniest shows on TV, and I'll admit, TJ was a great part of that, so seeing him leave and mess things up here because of his Trump derangement syndrome is pretty fucking gay. Not surprising, but fucking gay nonetheless.
I eat a fish.
I understand you eat the fish, but when you clean the fish, you can't just leave the fish head and guts and shit in the sink because the whole house smells like a bait station. So you gotta put it in the trash and then take the trash out. Do you understand?
Yes, I eat the fish.
Motherfuck!
It seems the cast of Silicon Valley, in Miller's estimation, failed to live up to this obligation. Just before the 2016 presidential election, he told HuffPost he spoke with the show's cast about the campaign. I asked, "How much money did you donate, you Hollywood elites? How much did you donate to Hillary Clinton's campaign?" And everybody in the cast said nothing. They hadn't given $1. He said, what did they think was going to happen? How had they not joined a fight that they had such strong opinions about? He noted that despite not even really being a fan of hers, he donated the maximum amount permitted to her campaign. Nobody donated to Hillary because she was a terrible candidate who was destined to lose, and she certainly would have been worse than Trump, so stop acting like Donald winning is going to end the world, Tej. Everything has gotten a whole lot better since he came into office, actually. Taxes were cut, terrorists were stopped, Korea's war is ended, and the list goes on. Remember those prisoners he freed just a few days ago? That was Trump. And this doesn't even get into how rude TJ was being to his coworkers on Silicon Valley. This was a low, classless move he did. Believe it or not, many people want to keep their politics private. Never talk about religion or politics. That's the rule I was always taught, but TJ was assuming his whole cast was a liberal and they all wanted to vote and make Hillary president, and that was a dick move. And pressuring your coworkers like this isn't cool, not at all.
Guys, does girth similarity affect Ehrlich's ability to jerk different dicks simultaneously?
Shit, yeah, I think it would.
So this political tirade TJ started in early 2017 is only part of what led him to leaving the show Silicon Valley. He was also reportedly showing up late for work and coming in overly high or drunk too. His heart wasn't in it anymore, I guess, and I'm willing to bet he's the kind of crazy partisan Democrat who can't even work with people who don't fully agree with him, politically or otherwise. And it's not even just that, because most of his cast is probably on the left too, but TJ also resented them for not going the extra mile and donating to Hillary, which probably wouldn't have helped in the end. And this effectively has TJ blaming his friends for Trump winning, and I guess his Trump derangement syndrome has drove him mad since then. TJ even said this about his exit from Silicon Valley. The decision to leave Silicon Valley, Miller suggested, freed him up to resist Trump in other ways. My position to oppose the Trump administration became more and more powerful when I left Silicon Valley, he said. I had more control over the content, the time, the schedule, the everything. Even the Emoji Movie, he argued, was a meaningful step toward encouraging younger audiences to understand and adopt progressive values. Wow, he's even getting that dog shit movie involved tier. I remember when he tried to make that political. That was a bad move too. And besides that, TJ left the biggest show he'll ever be on to resist Trump. What a fucking loser. Are you guys starting to see why TJ's career has been falling apart in this last year? And this is just the beginning of his bullshit. It looks like the Trump curse may be striking TJ this time. And it could mean his whole career is over by the end of 2018.
I'm a meh. So I gotta be totally over it all the time, you know, like, meh, who cares? Which is not as easy as it sounds.
I gotta be meh. I gotta be meh.
You see, this was only the tip of the iceberg for TJ's bullshit. First, he leaves Silicon Valley because of politics in early 2017. Then the Emoji Movie comes out that summer, and that was a huge bomb, of course, which he also tried to say was progressive and teaching kids some bullshit, almost like he's indoctrinating them. Sure, the Emoji Movie may have still made money too, but Miller got paid, I'm sure, but it was still a laughing stock of the internet and the world last year. And we weren't laughing because the movie was funny or entertaining. We were laughing because it was the dumbest idea we've ever fucking heard. And I still really can't believe a movie about texting little pictures to your friends actually was made and put out there and put millions of dollars into. And, alas, things got even worse for TJ last fall. In December 2017, Miller was accused of sexually assaulting and punching a woman. Apparently, ever since his college days, allegations of sexual violence have followed the acclaimed comic and Silicon Valley actor. Now his accuser has come forward, according to the article. But to be fair, it does sound like TJ is becoming a victim to the Me Too hysteria here. His accuser is choosing to remain anonymous too, which can also sound a little shady. That and their sex story sounds more like some rough sex that went wrong, went a little too far, rather than being a violent assault or rape or something. But regardless, this story still raises a lot of questions, and it certainly has people raising even more eyebrows to TJ. All things considered, this is the second time he's been publicly ridiculed for drinking. The first, of course, being when the cast and crew of Silicon Valley said he was drunk at work, and now his sexual assault accuser claims he was over drinking too, which was part of the reason things led to their rough sex going too far. One night, supposedly their sex went so hard and so rough, the girl woke up with a chipped tooth and a bloodied lip. And sure, either of these stories could be forgivable on their own, but couple them together and it looks like TJ might have a bit of a drinking problem, not unlike his losing candidate and the former Democrat leader Hillary Clinton. But I don't think Hill Dog would appreciate Miller's sexist, patriarchal way of treating women. No one on the left would. And they certainly want nothing to do with TJ after what happened this April. You see, the story continues. An article from Deadline on April 10th, 2018 has more details. It's called TJ Miller charged with calling in fake bomb threat. Check this out. Miller was arrested Monday night at LaGuardia Airport in Queens, New York. He was charged in a federal criminal complaint with intentionally conveying to law enforcement false information about an explosive device on a train traveling to Connecticut, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Connecticut. Miller appeared today before U.S. District Judge Jeffrey A. Meyer in New Haven and was released on a $100,000 bond. The charge carries a maximum term of 5 years in prison. Jesus Christ, TJ, what kind of fucked up shit have you gotten yourself into now? A fake bomb threat is a new low, that's for sure. I'll give you that. And why am I not surprised to hear that more alcohol was involved in this story too? Investigators later determined that Miller had actually been traveling on a different train than he initially reported. An attendant from the first-class car where Miller had been sitting said Miller appeared intoxicated when he boarded in Washington and consumed multiple drinks on the train and was removed in New York because of intoxication. The attendant also told investigators Miller had been involved in hostile exchanges with a woman who was sitting in a different row from him in the first-class car. What a fucking shit show. Another drunk story of another stark Hollywood liberal harassing women. I don't know why I'm even surprised anymore. And it certainly makes sense that this article goes on to mention TJ was also arrested in 2016 after a car service driver accused him of battery and later was released on his own recognizance. TJ Miller is breaking down, folks. He's gone from a very much acclaimed and beloved comedian to a drunken, sexist, liberal shilling pig. So despite Miller having a few more high-profile movies out this year, including a villain part in the recent Ready Player One from Steven Spielberg, and of course him co-starring in this week's Deadpool 2, which is expected to be a big hit as well. But after these projects release, I doubt TJ Miller is going to be finding the same kind of AAA work in Hollywood after all this bullshit. Marvel and Deadpool have already officially dropped him, and Silicon Valley at HBO also previously chose to have their supposed mutual split up. But looking back, I'm willing to bet there was more to the Silicon Valley breakup than meets the eye. I just think HBO did a better job at putting a spin on that story, because in light of recent events, TJ Miller's downfall is undeniable. And don't get me wrong either, I don't want the guy to fail. I've been a big fan of Miller's comedic work too, but I'm certainly not going to shed a tear now. Not after all this. After him coming out pro-Hillary and so anti-Trump for no reason, and after he left Silicon Valley he did the gay emoji movie, he did all this dumb shit? No thank you. And that's why I truly think TJ Miller is breaking down. And after Deadpool 2, he's pretty much going to be done in Hollywood. The Trump curse has struck once again, and as always, justice has been served. And In America, we're better off for it. What do you guys think? Is TJ Miller truly breaking down? Does he have a drinking problem? I also heard he has actual brain issues, like he had a seizure or brain loss at some point in the last year or two. Do you think this could have led to his recent issues and problems? And do you think Hollywood will continue to hire TJ for big movies after becoming so detested and so toxic? Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. See y'all next time.